A wealthy woman who had never touched a man's hand in her life decided one day to go out onto the street to do just that. She spotted a young man selling pancakes. Smiling, she approached him and without a word, took his hand. She asked if he would be her lover, but the young man grew furious. He slapped her and said, "Are you crazy?" He threatened to call the police if she ever did it again. Disappointed, the woman had to walk away. The young man's parents witnessed the entire scene. They wanted the woman to stay and become their son's wife. The young man was 35 years old and still unmarried, which deeply worried his parents. One day, a wealthy old man arrived, searching for a husband for his granddaughter. His condition was that the husband must be extremely poor. He observed many young men, but none were poor enough to meet his standards. Then he saw the young man selling pancakes. He immediately told his driver to stop the car, stepped out and asked, "Will you marry my granddaughter?" The young man replied, "I don't even know your granddaughter." Just then, the granddaughter stepped out of the car. She was breathtakingly beautiful. The young man was stunned. He had never seen such a gorgeous girl before. He quickly approached her and introduced himself. The granddaughter liked him at first sight. The old man asked again if he would marry her, but the young man couldn't believe it. He felt something was off because their circumstances were so different. The old man explained that he wanted a son-in-law who was very poor. "Our family is the poorest," he claimed. "No one is poorer than us." He said he would visit the young man's home to confirm their poverty. In truth, the young man's parents were the richest people in the world. When he was a child, he had gotten lost. At the age of 23, he reunited with his parents. They had come to pick him up in a Rolls-Royce, intending to shower him with their billions. But on the way, their car broke down. At that moment, a pancake seller on a tricycle passed by. The driver paid him 500 rupees for his tricycle and clothes. The parents donned those clothes and rode the tricycle to meet their son. People mocked them, saying that after 20 years of search, his parents turned out to be pancake sellers. But the young man embraced them and wept with joy. The young man declared, "Selling pancakes isn't a bad thing. Earning a living with your own hands is honorable. I dislike rich people. They get wealthy by exploiting the poor." He had no idea his parents were the world's richest. Fearing he would hate them if he learned the truth, they pretended to be poor and began selling pancakes on the street. However, they didn't know how to cook. Customers complained that their pancakes were terrible. The young man asked, "Mom, have you really been selling pancakes for 20 years? She replied, "My hand isn't working well today." The old man announced he would visit the young man's home in 3 days to assess their poverty. If they weren't poor, he wouldn't permit the marriage. The young man's father instructed his people to find an old house in the village. 3 days later, the old man arrived with his granddaughter. The house was ancient and run down. The old man was delighted, saying, "Yes, this is truly a poor house." But the granddaughter grew suspicious. She noticed the floor gleaming and said, "This isn't cement. It's precious jade worth billions of rupees." The father insisted, "No, it's just cement. I made it myself." The old man believed him.